Hey guys, hopefully you guys can hear me. Hey guys, sorry, I don't know if y'all can hear me yet. Can y'all hear me? Oh gosh, I was trying to get my kids wrangled in. Let's see, which one of these chats is for right now? Yep, that one's not. This one is from right now. Let's see, what's going on? What did I miss? Oh my. Hey Dawn, hey Jessica. Let's see. Hey Casey, hey Aaron. You take your, Jen takes hers on April 22nd. Joanna. Happy Friday. Guadalupe. Gupta, good to see you. Hey Go-Kart. Question for you, last lived before E&M heading. Repeat, would appreciate. Tomorrow is my birthday, so gift to myself will be a break. That's awesome, Rachel. You take that break. Yes, there is a class today. Sorry, I'm just late. I'm trying to get my kids settled at where they need to be so I can hop on and get questions done. Hey, Amy. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Zeta. Let's see. Can y'all hear and see me? All right. And on TikTok, what's going on there? Not a thing. We got 9 people on. I think now that they're moving the servers over to the United States, it's getting kind of hard to get all of us on going live at the same time and hold that data. There's been a whole lot of lag and stuff. Yay, I'm so glad you can hear me, Heather. That's awesome. Hey, Chloe. Let's see if y'all can see the screen. Probably not yet. I hadn't finished doing all my stuff. Let's get this Word document up. Good, good, good. We've got that one. Okay, Aaron, can you see the screen now? Oh, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the YouTube. Thanks for the reminder, Rachel. Also, the taps on the TikTok screen, if y'all can do that. That's awesome. Thank you for the 22 subscribers on TikTok. And however many are in our YouTube membership, that helps with this content a whole bunch. $39 and holding. Don't ever leave it. Yay. Awesome. So glad you can see the screen. Okay, awesome. Let me see if I can't get my camera to come up. Let me see. No, this one. This was it. I'm in the lab and path area. Still been doing some book prep here. I'll let y'all follow along just a little bit. I'm on page 652 of the CPT book. It's right after CPT code 81599. It's the header chemistry. And, oh, I gotta fold up this thing because that stupid thing gets all up in my way and I can't write. This is dealing with urine, blood, feces, and sputum. All the lovely stuff we want to read about in the patient's charts for coding. Just making sure the door is closed. Let's see. Let's get these highlights done. How's everybody's week going this week? I gotta find James's schedule while we're live to see what days we can go live next week due to his ball game situation. Go grab that at some point. I have some new E&Ms. I have a couple of questions from this morning's duck class, which were really cool, but not too many. I think just two that were really important. As I'm going through my book and highlighting stuff, anything that's in a parentheses, I like to highlight in yellow. Anything that's red, I fixed the out-of-code sequences, but anything that says do not code a code with another code, like this note right here, I double star it in red and underline it so that I see it. This practice of going through the entire book and doing this will help you when you're in your exam. It'll be automatic. You'll go look for those do nots as you're looking at the codes. It's kind of important, but a tedious thing to do. And I know you'll hate me for it as it goes on, but it will make a difference in the way you look at these codes for sure. Thank you, Tay-Tay, for the gifts on TikTok. Thank you for the roses, Jen. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Is Go-Kart in here? Good to see you guys. I forgot to put y'all down here where y'all can see the book too. Gotta move my camera out of your view. Y'all gotta yell at me on TikTok. Say, hey, we can't see the book. Teresa, she passed her exam last Thursday. I can't keep up with taking all the pictures and putting all the pictures of everybody that lets me know every day. I'm getting so many of them. That's awesome. Teresa took her exam last Saturday and she passed. That is awesome. I can 100% say that using Jen's method is what got me through on time. That's awesome. Sputum mucus. Yep. I did make it to the DMV today. I got the new Arizona driver's license thingy coming in the mail soon. And I got some cars registered back the way they were supposed to be. And got new tags coming. And I paid up their registration for the next 5 years, so I don't have to do that again. It's always stuff to take care of, you know? When you think about buying a car and doing the car payments, you got to realize you're going to have to pay street taxes. Ooh. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, DD. That is awesome. She just gifted somebody a subscription for the YouTube. I bet is what that is for. That is awesome. Thank you so much. How long are you guys studying before testing? I feel like very behind. I didn't study at all because I knew I had 2 test attempts. I went and took my first attempt in person with the booklet, in person, so that I could go through the exam, highlight codes that were possible answers, and maybe write down vocabulary words, things that from the exam, so that I could go home, and that was my study guide. That's how I figured out what to study. So that's how I did it. And then I used my second attempt to pass purposely because I studied what I marked. I had no idea what to expect or how to study for the exam until you do it. So was my thinking on this. And you can read websites and take practice exams, but you don't know what you're facing until you do it. So I just went and did it right away. Then now that I did it, that I came up with my own way of studying for it. But I'm weird, so. Anytime a CPT descriptor says the word each inside of it, you know that you can times these specimens, that if you did 2 or 3 of them, you can use the time thing instead of a modifier like modifier 51 or 50. So always look for those eaches inside a descriptor beforehand, because sometimes when you're rushing from code to code, you might not look to see where the each is at. And a lot of these labs have them. You won't know unless you circle them. Knowing whether they're qualitative or quantitative is going to be a big difference. Pick you 2 colors. So one color will always be qual, Q-U-A-L, and one color will always be quant, Q-U-A-N-T. And you will always do those colors. How about, I'm looking. Let's do pink quals all the way through. So every time I see a qual, I'm going to color it with a pinkish color this year. And then every time I see a quant, oh, I forgot one, qual, a quant, we're going to do it in green. So that way, oops, I did one of them. Nope, quant, Q-U-A-N-T, yep. Qual, good. And then anytime you see a quant, it'll be green. That way you'll know your difference. You'll do Q-U-A-N-T equals green. And then we'll do Q-U-A-L equals the pink line. And then we'll just follow that all the way through. Some of them are semi-quant or quant, but then some of them will be semi-qual and qualitative. So just kind of have to search each descriptor and find them. don't know if that's plain for everybody, but hopefully that will help. Thank you guys for the shares on the TikTok and the tappies of the screen. Hey, Miss Diana. Good to see you. You're going to take your first attempt in May. That's awesome. Every few months, but I feel like I can't learn it. You don't have to learn it. Technically, you'll learn on the job. What you need to learn how to do is be able to pass your certification exam, which I teach from the exam point of view. Learning how to code is super frustrating because the rules are going to change, especially depending on payers, depending on what group you work for and their contracts with whoever you're billing for. Each group number, like Coca-Cola, you'll bill one certain way for a OB delivery, and then another company on Blue Cross Blue Shield, if they both have Blue Cross Blue Shield, but Coca-Cola has this group number, you'll bill one way or code one way. And then Amazon employees that also have Blue Cross Blue Shield, you'll code a delivery a different way. It depends on contracts and stuff. So yeah, what you need to learn how to do is pass your CPC certification so that you can have your certificate so that you can get hired. And that's all you need. And it doesn't require any schooling or courses or prerequisites. They do, of course, sell all that stuff, but it's not required at all. And if you want to just learn how to pass just the exam, I'll help you do that. First thing you're going to need is a CPT book. So you can go through here and make it, since your exam is open book exam, you get to take this book with you. We get to write on every available white space of this book, and we can write down any rules or regulations that are just common for the exam from the exam point of view. Got more quals and quants over here. Good Lord. Can't set down those markers for anything. Got more eaches. These are the guaiacs. I'm hitting my cameras. Anything with the parentheses, I'm just highlighting with a yellow highlighter. Some codes don't have anything in a parentheses. Some of them just have one letter, like the letter S. That's important to highlight because sometimes you don't know if things are multiples, plurals, and just knowing that will help out a whole bunch because you don't have to add a modifier to it to say you did one or two, or times it. Super helpful. Yeah, you can still use your 2022 book. I just recommend getting that document that I have up for your E&M section, especially in your hernias. It will show you what codes to delete, draw a line through that had been deleted, and where to add in through the entire book the new code and what page to write it on, because we've got quite a few new codes, and it's like $20 in my shop, and it'll show you step by step where to go, what page, what code to write where to add the new codes. So that'll be super handy dandy, but you can absolutely use your 2022 book. Where is we didn't finish the 70 right here. This 82272 right here. This one is an other than. other than Neo 1 through 3. C, R, GI bleed. Just a note that I wrote from last year. It must be important or I would not have written it there. This one is a Perry and it's also do 1 to 3 simultaneous determinations. Yep, and WIAC is important. Yep. You cannot use a 2021 book at all. Yep. I'm not doing billing now, just medical coding. Billing is, oh. Yep, I will show you how to take these test questions and just slaughter them. It's awesome. It takes practice though, because we don't read the questions. And that's what it takes. You don't want to do like you're in preschool or whatever. You read the question from beginning to end and then go through your answers. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. We're not going to read any of the question at all. And it's kind of neat. My oldest son has a couple of college degrees and he taught me this way of taking exams. I was terrible at school, just awful. My whole academic life, I was, did go to college, did get degrees, but terrible by the skin of my teeth, I know my stuff physically, but taking a written test is not easy for me. I decipher things differently. So he taught me how not to read the questions, just go to the answers. What are the differences in the answers? And that will get you the correct answer. What have I got on this page? I'm sure I've got something over here. Anything in particular? Not a lot. We're coming up on 82951. Those are 82952. Those are coming up. Those are where our glucose 82952. Oh yeah. Our glucose tolerance test. That's probably on the certification exam. So we've got our 8295251 is the important one. That one's usually asked, and they try to trick you between it and the glucagon tolerance test. But in general, your answer is always going to be your 5-1. This is the one if you've ever been to an OB and had that glucose tolerance test while you were pregnant. They make you drink that nasty chalky orange stuff that burns as it goes down. It's like, and you can't get it cold enough. Yeah. So we can do a 5. You can write in these books. You're going to spend enough money on them for sure. Wherever you want, as long as you're not removing anything that they have printed on the page and you're not writing over the top of their print. So GTT just means glucose tolerance test. 5 specimen is always coded with, let me get the YouTubers down here where we're at. Yep, we are at the 82951 and the 82952 times 2. We're always going to be that answer. For that situation with the glucose tolerance test. The one that is the 2962 over here on the other side, this one is your glucometer, like in the doctor's office where they prick your finger and draw a little drop of blood and put it in the machine. So we can highlight that one as something important. Sure. It also will do multiple devices because there's all kinds of different types of glucose monitor machines. So any of them will do. And just going through and highlighting anything that might be in a parentheses. Marking my do nots. Those are the parentheticals that say do not. When they have a parenthetical that says use a code with a code, I mark that in green, double stars, so that I show off that that's good to go. We can code that one with that one. We had one today that was cool. What was that code? There was a child code that had, no, a mama code that had 2 children code, but both her children could not be coded with her. Only the 2 children could be coded together. So that was interesting today in our duck class. That was fun. We got to learn that today. I think it was an integumentary, maybe a musculoskeletal. Y'all have to remind me. Where were we at? But that was interesting. What does the pink highlight mean on 2951? That means that has been a code on an exam prior to my knowledge. So when I took my exam, I remember this code being on my exam, and I go through all my notes that you guys order from me, and I note which ones have a history of being on the exam before. So it's just something helpful. Something helpful. Don't forget to go through all of your anatomy and make sure you add to it. All you got to do is do a Google search, like skeletal system that we're looking at right here. Just do a skeletal system function. Just Google that, and it'll tell you what it does, like supports, protects the body. You can also look at other pictures. You can find other things that are labeled on other pictures that are not labeled on this one, and you can add that to these sections. It's kind of neat. How many bones? what kind of modifiers are used in these sections. That's always helpful. Here's some more examples of the do nots that I highlight underneath things that remind me to look and say, don't code this one with that one. Just noting the one-word differences. This is a revision. This is an implant. This is a scar release. Super easy, because if my answers were 70, 71, and 80, and 96, all I need to do is search my question. Am I revising something? Am I implanting something? And am I working on a scar? All I got to do is search the question for that. What am I doing today? And that's the only info I need to look for. And that helps you answer the questions correctly, instead of getting all convoluted into the descriptors of all these words. And I like to go through ahead of time and do that so that we know our differences. It's a lot of work, but talk about making an exam a lot easier. That helps. That helps a lot. I think it does anyway. I have E and M tonight. Let's see, what else do I have? I got E and M. Did we skip page 655? Probably not. I'm just fiddling around. I'll go back to doing some more book prep tonight when I get through with our practice questions. I know it's getting late here for you guys. It's always better on YouTube. Always better. I have some modifiers, places of service, integumentary, E&M, guidelines, anatomy, musculoskeletal for questions tonight. So let's get started. All right. Sorry, Heather, I missed your request. I'm sorry. I do have something on the 1700s tonight too, so I do have that question. Can I see the front of that book, if you don't mind? Not at all. Here we go. It's the AMA. That's the only person who writes the CPT book, and it's just the 2023 professional edition. That's all. That's the first thing you need to get. If you want to get into coding, just grab this book, watch my lives, and let's get it prepped. Also, I have a website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. There's a tab there that says CPT book prep. It's got pictures of what I'm doing, and you just click on the pictures and it'll tell you exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, so you can do all this yourself. You don't have to purchase my notes, but I got a free page on there that tells you how to make your own notes, just like this. So, super helpful. Oop, get back there. All right. Let's get to our practice questions for tonight. All right. Ooh. I don't know why I couldn't get the font a different color, but on YouTube this might be a little dark. So for this one, we're looking at the front of the book, maybe? For our place of service codes, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then it also wants to know what is the E&M code for the day's visit. If you are in today's duck class, you've already seen this question, and I already got y'all on all this one. So y'all don't tell them the answer. Let them suffer like y'all did this morning. And watch and laugh. I didn't repeat very many questions. I just thought this one was really good. and I wanted to go over it with everybody. So if you already saw this morning, go get some tea or something and come back in about 5 minutes. So what kind of code is our 99251? Remember, we don't go look at the question. We go straight to our answers. We figure out what's the differences between our E&M codes. So we're not going to change that here. What is our 99251? What kind of code is that? What's its header? (99251). Yep, that's a admit hospital, or I guess I shouldn't say admit. I should just say hospital consult. What about our 99241? Thank you for the 1,000 taps on the screen on TikTok. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate it. This one is office consult. What's our 99221? What kind of header is that one? (99221). Just getting to and turning in your books to the pages and finding the numbers is also half your battle right there. So it's really good to get out your books and just try to find the codes and find the headers. Yep, this one is admit hospital. And what is 99234? Yep. It's okay. Yep. This one's observation. It's admit and discharge all in the same day. Yep. So let's check out our question. What is our place of service and what is our code for today's visit? So your very first page of your CPT book is place of service codes for professional claims. It starts with 01 and it ends on the back of it with code 99 for places of service. Which one of these places of service is our code for today? And then out of B, C, and D, which office visit or E&M code would we be billing for today? It's the whole question. It's just a data service. It's not needed. What's the place of service code? the place of service code is a 22. And your visit is an office consult. They build a place of service code, which is inpatient hospital, but where is the emergency room department? Is that an admit? So if you go to the emergency room, are you admitted to the hospital? You can go to the emergency room for a stubbed toe, a cough that won't go away. You're just lonely and want somebody to talk to. You're not admitted. You're just there in an outpatient setting. So you're not admit. You're just in an outpatient setting. So that's why we have to pick place of service 22. And since we're outpatient in the ER, we're going to bill an office visit consult. Because your patient is not admitted. They are just in the ER. That's why, MK. They are not admitted. They're just in an outpatient setting. Services performed in the emergency room department are considered outpatient services. Just because you're in the emergency room does not mean that you are admitted to the hospital. And if you put a 21 place of service code on an emergency room visit, your claim will be denied every day of the week. You are not inpatient hospital. An emergency room is nothing more than just a walk-in clinic, an outpatient clinic. You are not admitted. Nope, it's not in the hospital. No, it's not. The name of the orange book is CPT 2023 Professional Edition by the AMA. This is your guideline right here. Services performed in the ER are not inpatient hospital at all. Just making sure my phone's going off, my child. If we were to repair multiple lacerations within the same anatomical group and complexity, how would we report them? Do we add margins and do the total of the repairs? Do we multiply the lengths and the height? Do we code each separately or we sum them together? That's half the battle, is finding the codes all on your own. Yep, if we are in the same anatomical group with same complexity report, do we add the margins and do the total repair? Multiply the length times the height? Do we code each separately or sum them together? A, B, C, or D? Yes, that's the objective. Yep. We're going to add them together. How about this one? We got our 1700s. These are our AKs. Do you see any coding irregularities? Anything that you would not code with each other? We've got a do not down here that says do not report 004 with our 000 and 003. So right away, you know you can get rid of D. That's not going to work. We can't code those two together, three together. Right there, we got our do not. If we were to make A our answer would be 2 AKs removed. B could not be our answer because you can't code the 3 by itself because it is an add-on code. It has to have its mama code before it. So that is also a coding irregularity. If C was our answer, this equals 1 AK, this equals 11. If we add those together, we get 12 were removed. How many were removed? Right away you see 4. So you know you're over the amount of 2 anyway. So you know A can't be it. You can pick your C and move on with your day. But in case you guys wanted to know, there's 3 4s. 3 times 4 is 12. And that's how many we removed. The CPT code descriptor for this one is an each. Every time you see the word each in the CPT code descriptor, it means one more up to however many the descriptor says. If there is no limit, then great. If it does say a limit, like up to 13 or 14 or whatever it says, then you know you have to stop. If we removed 99 of these suckers on somebody, we would simply only code 17004 because I think it does 15 or more. Is that what it does? Yeah, 15 or more. But you see, it does not have the word each in the descriptor. So it's not one by one. It's everything after number 15. It'll do as many. And you would only code that code once, no matter how many more there were, if you got up to 15. Any number less than that, you're going to code in this situation, but it's got to equal by timesing. So I rewrote the descriptor here to make more sense. I drew a line through the second through 14. I just put up to 14. Right there. And then I circled my each. Then I put some examples around it, you know. So if there were 3 AKs, we would have the 1700 plus the 17003 times 2. If there's 16 AKs, it would just be the 004. That way it makes it easier for the next time you see it. All right, we've got our ER code. We've got our hospital consultation. We've got our admit hospital. We've got our admit but discharge all in the same day code. Those are our headers. Let's check out our question. And y'all tell me where we're at. This one I did Wednesday night during our live, but so many got it wrong, I thought I would share one more time just to see if anybody can get it right. We're going to, after we look up our differences, which is my step number 1, in our E&M coding is differences. My step 2 is to read the last sentence. Yep. They asked us to code for just the emergency room physician. So emergency room physicians don't do consults, so we can get rid of that one. Was the patient admitted and discharged all in the same day? Nope, that didn't happen. They were admitted right away, so we can't bill for ER. So what we're going to bill for is C, our admit hospitalization. Just drill in these few little questions that were recently in my live on Wednesday, but people were like, that looks familiar. You really need to make sure you know this. So I have like 3 or 4 of these rapid fires real quick. Make sure you understand. I can't tell you how many people even spell this wrong when they're even just doing the acronym. They always spell it HIPPA instead of HIPAA. So you know they don't know what each individual word is. Make sure you know what each individual little word is, because they could switch it up for you and you not know what it actually means or what the actual words are. So make sure you know exactly what each word stands for. That'll be really helpful on the exam. This one too, I changed up the question because I think a lot of you guys were making comments about how the question I had on Wednesday was a little different. So I changed this one for tonight. Where is the JVD found in? Is it neck, thigh, trunk, or cervical? Maybe now it's more like what y'all have seen before. What is JVD? Yeah. That is jugular vein distension, and it is in your neck. Yep. How many lobes are there in the lungs? Just want to make sure and drill these few in your heads, guys. You may see these again, so be careful. Make sure you know the correct answer. Remember, you have 3 reference materials you get to take with you. Your CPT book, your ICD-10 book, and your HipPix book. Many of these answers will be in all your references, but you have the back page of your CPT book that has your common abbreviations in it. And if JVD is not back here, I would recommend you write it in. Make sure you have it. Whatever you see that you don't already have back here, you can write in. That way you know where to find it during your exam. And let me show the YouTubers. This is that last page in the very back of the book, the last cover page. It's super thick. You have this whole page of acronyms back here. And if JVD is not here, go write it in. It's a great place to put it. And then how many lobes are in the lungs? Well, let's go to your respiratory section of your CPT book. All the answers are in your books. You just need to know where to find them. We've got our little lung guy here, and God Almighty, he's got a lot of notes on him, but down here at the bottom, I wrote in, he's got 3 left lobes, two left lobes, 3 right lobes. They're even drawn on here so you can see 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 and 2 here. And then all together, he has 5. That's why making up your notes is super important. They may ask you how many are in the right, how many are in the left, or how many are all together. 5 are all together. Yep. Yep. Hair, skin issues, front of integumentary. Very first page, you've got this anatomical skin structure. I would have here, what is trichomonas? What is the Warthogn's gland? That's another one I would have here. What stuff is in the epidermis? What stuff is in the dermis? Skin is the largest organ system we have. Stuff about split thickness and full thickness written in here. Trichomycosis. That one's your fungal infection of the hair. I switched up the immunization one tonight. So hopefully you guys that saw this on Wednesday night know to go to, let's see, do I have one that is different? I don't. Let's see. What's Chrome here? That's not helpful. Okay. There we go. Let me get out of my live that we're doing right now and let's go to my website. Yeah, let's go here. So this is my website, Medical Coding by Jen. If you haven't yet, sign up, but go into the shared gallery for this next question. I have free pictures here of all kinds of information. I mean, just tons of stuff. It's all free pictures, copies of my notes, what they look like, how to study for the exam, what to carry the books in, what pens do I use, what camera equipment you'll need for online exams. But these pink and blue pages are particularly important for the next question. There's also how to get an extra hour on your exam, how to get your apprenticeship taken off before you even take your exam, even how many questions are in or on the question on the exam. But these pink and blue pages are super important for vaccines because the CPT book does not have enough information in it that we need for our exam. For example, this page right here, let me see if I can make it bigger for you guys. There we go. Has a list of the CPT codes here to the left. You need to go to each one of those CPT codes and write what is written here in the very right column. Like the 90702 has 2 components in it. The 90700 has 3 components in it. The 90696 has 4 components in it. This is super important and it's 100% free on my website if you want to go get it. And some of these are repeats, but I have 2 different versions of this, so just wanted to make sure y'all have both versions. But super helpful for questions like what we've got going on here. Let me see, is this it? Yep, this one for tonight. This question is just asking you to code how many components were in the vaccines that were ordered by the physician. How would you bill it? So let me reveal the question and show you why you're not getting the CPT codes with this question. You're just getting the name of the vaccine. So you're going to have to know where the vaccines are located in the back of your book in medicine. Be familiar on how to find them without knowing a code number. Like, where is the MMR vaccine that was ordered right here? You're going to need to be able to go to the back of the book and go find it. And then either know off the top of your head or be able to find it and then write down how many components there are. MMR is code number 90707, and it has 3 components in it. Pentacell is also in here. How many components does it have in it? Y'all are still on the skin section here on YouTube. Y'all can Google all that stuff afterwards too. Yep. Pentacell has 5 components in it. Varicella is your chickenpox vaccine. How many components does it have in it? Does anybody know? It's a lot of printer ink and paper. You can just view it on my website and go to each code and write it in. I'm sure you can find a way to print to PDF and then print it if you want to, but it's a waste of trees, I think. But I've got it posted there for you. Just do a screenshot of it and print it. Varicella, chickenpox, has 1 component. Flu vaccine, influenza, also has 1 component. Add all those together, you do get the number 10. The first number, number 60, is how many syringes you used. And it takes 1 component away from each one of the vaccines. Pentacell turns into 4. Our MMR turns into 2 components, if you want to do it that way, but we have 4 syringes for our first number, and then the remaining amount, which is just our 2 and our 4, is how we get our 6 for our second number. You can also look at it as we've got 4 vaccines ordered. So you subtract 4 from our total number of components. You get 6 left over. We know 4 is our first number. 6 is our second number. However you want to do it. Several different ways to look at it. But knowing how to bill and code components is super important. And without that info, it's hard to do unless you are a pediatrics vaccine giver like I used to be. Here's our components. All right, our 99282 is ER. So is our 81. This is our nurse visit in the office. And this one is our admit hospital. I'll let you guys see the question and you guys tell me what you think. What is our patient status? Thank you.
Veronica donated $9.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you, Veronica. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I gotta go see. While y'all are looking at that question, let me find my boys' baseball schedule. I've been moving stuff all over this office because I'm looking for those car tags and digging out my birth certificate. My birth certificate's over 50 years old. It's like one of those things that's hard to find and keep up with all the time for so many years. Let's see, what do we got going on next week? His next game is on the 6th. What day of the week is that on? That's on a Thursday. And then his next one is the 11th. So nothing's going to affect you guys next week. That's awesome. So I will be able to go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week without any issues. So that's great. That's good. That's a load off my mind. Okay. It would be no charge if you knew that the patient had sutures done in the same location. We don't have that information. This is just a patient walking into the emergency room saying they had sutures and staples put in 14 days ago. They're homeless. They don't have a PCP, and they know it's time to get them removed, and they need them removed. What is our new 2023 guideline on this particular situation? They're not admitted. They're not a nurse visit. No charge is not an option for the scenario. You have to pick an answer. Patient did not see MD or qualified whatever staff. So you don't bill the 82. The 81 is our nurse visit only, ER visit. So that's the one you bill. Nurses now can do ER visits. All right, we got medicine. No, lab and path, lab and path, lab and path. We've got 3 of them that start out with 88307. Do we see any coding irregularities that we can get rid of to get us down to a smaller option? We're looking for, when we're not in the E&M section, we're looking for similarities, and we're looking for coding irregularities instead of looking for differences first off the bat. So do we see any coding irregularities and similarities? Similarities I see in the 3 that are the 07. Does anybody see a coding irregularity? Thank you for the roses, Island Nurse. Good to see you. You are awesome. I'm sorry, Shayna Poo. I'm sorry you're lost. Just hang in there. It will eventually be as clear as mud, right? It's pretty unclear, like being in a dark closet without, and only the light seeping through at the bottom, but only intermittently, you know. Before long, it'll be clear as mud. #12Mind, thanks for the follow. A is not an irregularity. That one can be coded. We can have an answer with that as the answer. These codes can be ×2. The 88300 through our 09. Even though the word each is not in the CPT code descriptor, it is an each. Per specimen container, if your specimens are put in separate specimen containers for the same type of specimen gotten from the same spot, like 2 biopsies of a gallbladder, I don't know, or 2 biopsies of a cervix, but one of them is put in one container and another cervix biopsy is put into a different container, then we have to build them separately, and we would do ×2 because it's the same location. So A is not a coding irregularity. Anybody figure out what is the coding irregularity? There is one. There you go. Who is that? Aaron got it. B is a coding irregularity because you always bill your toughest procedure first, and an 07 is a tougher thing to get to because that's like your craniotomies, where this one might be your gallbladders, you know? So this is tougher to get to. These are resections and brains. This is normal surgeries. So yeah, B is a coding irregularity. You want the bigger number first. Perfect. All right. What's your answer? These you really can't do the process of looking for one-word differences because you need to know what you removed, and then you do a word search through the CPT code descriptors until you find the body part that matches. Good job, Natalie. It's hard to catch them all. Clear as mud. So how many specimens are we charged with doing a report on? Would be my first question, because if it was answer A, there's 3 specimens. If it was C, there's 2. If it was D, there's 2. How many specimens are we supposed to be messing with? We've got 2 lymph nodes in separate containers. And what else do we have? Anything else? Yes, no? What was the name? What did Sally have done to her? She had a thyroidectomy. So they removed her entire thyroid. And then they also removed 2 lymph nodes. So there's a total of 3 things here we're supposed to run path on. They didn't specifically tell us that the thyroid was in a container, but they're not supposed to have to if they said they did the procedure. It's just the fact that they had removed 2 lymph nodes, but they decided to put them into 2 separate containers, because if you do remove a lymph node, it could be one on one side of the neck and then the other one underneath an armpit or anywhere. Lymph nodes are all over the place. So you want to label them where they're at in the body, because if only one comes back with cancer and you threw them both in the same container, you won't know which body part had the cancer if one of them comes up negative. So that's why they separated them like that. So we've got a thyroid, of course, that's in one container, and then we have 1 lymph node in another container, and then another lymph node in another container. So it is 3. That's the tricky stuff that's on the exam. Stuff like that is what you'll be dealing with. So what have we got going on here in musculoskeletal? Looking for similarities. We have 3 of them that are in the right here area. 2 of them that are the same. Just need to know if we need to add another code to it or not. So I would start out with this 25560 code, see what's going on with that code, see if we have any do nots or anything that goes along with it or underneath it. When you're in the musculoskeletal section, one important thing to always make sure you do is a lot of times the procedures are the same. They're the same body part, the same treatment of whatever fracture, but the only difference is whether it was an open or closed procedure. Now your fracture could be also open or closed, or it could be through the skin kind of procedure too, percutaneously, but it's the same fracture on the same body part. But the only difference is open, closed, or through the skin. So I go through and I do green for all the open procedures. I do orange for all the closed procedures, and then draw a line for all the percutaneous. That way I can just look all the way down this page really quickly, and I've already searched my question or whatever, and I know whether I'm closed or open, and that can help me eliminate possible answers really quickly. So just a tip for your book prep stuff. Our 25560 though is a closed treatment. That's nice. Let's check out what's going on. We have a closed treatment of a radial fracture and the application of a short arm cast in the ER. What would we bill for this visit? Thank you, Jeanette. You're awesome. Hey, True Bomb. Thanks for the follow. Thank y'all for the 2,000 likes on the TikTok tonight. That's fun. And the 7 shares. Good to see you, True. You can watch all my replays of my free lessons on YouTube. It's the same name, Medical Coding by Jen. So if you missed anything, want to replay something, just want to hear me yell at my kids, whatever, I got thousands of hours up for you guys. Tons of lessons just like this one. Some are a hot mess. Most of them have some nugget of some good information that I eventually get out that is super helpful for the exam. I do have a free workshop coming up April 9th because April is my birthday month. So that is going to be a 3-hour on Sunday lab and path practice question night. We'll do during the day. It's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Arizona time zone. But it'll be free for everybody. And even if you can't attend the whole time, it'll be here on YouTube for y'all to replay. There won't be a lot of conversations, just back-to-back practice questions throughout the entire lab and path section. Yep, go-kart, we're going to build just C, which is our casting supplies. I talked about this in our duck class this morning, that if a patient comes into the emergency room for a small fracture that just needs casting, we're going to bill for the casting supplies and not the ER level visit, because they won't pay for both. Health plans won't. And the more expensive item for all of this, including the MD's visit and his time or her time and the x-ray, is less expensive than the casting supplies. So they get more money for just billing for the casting supplies. So that's all you're going to bill for. Plus it's part of the guidelines in casting. So there's some guidelines next to these codes. Be sure and read those guidelines right before the 29075. There's other interesting stuff there too. If you do like a manipulation or help a fracture like the 95560, if we manipulated and popped a bone back into place, then we'll just bill for that, and we don't bill for the casting supplies. So if you're actually fixing a fracture and having to put it back into place or something, you're just going to bill for the procedure and not the casting supplies. But since there was no procedure done, all they did was just apply cast, then we'll just bill for the casting supplies. Here's another example. Same sort of thing, I think. Yep. Patient was seen fractured. His arm snowboarding had already been casted. Went snowboarding again and broke the cast. He didn't re-injure his arm, but they had to replace the cast. What would you bill for this one? those toes. Toes. $65 is shoulder to hand, where $75 is elbow to finger. Where is the left radius to the ulna? Just knowing that would help. We didn't put the splint on. That's our 125, so it's definitely not D. Yep. And we just put that modifier on the end for our... We don't have to worry about it since it's in every single one of the answers, but it's handy. All right. Critical care for a 20-day-old. Initial care. Critically ill, 20-day-old. Oh, I can't say that. Critically ill. Ill is my word. Critically ill, 20-day-old patient, initial care. Are we in critical care codes? The 99291, those are my favorite E&M codes because we don't have to have MDM. All it is time with that one. Are we in the 99460s? The 99221s, I know those are the admit hospitals. This is critical care. What's our 99460s? 99460s. That's initial hospital or birthing center per day, evaluation and treatment. And then our 99468s. Good luck finding those. They're all out of sequence. That's admit, neonate, critical care. What would you code for these? She was actually billing for that today. Somebody broke their cast. Yeah. Let's see. What do you guys think? Happy early birthday. Thank you, Go Kart. Good to see you. Your birthday is Monday, Eva? That's awesome. Mine's on the 14th. Laptop do you recommend for medical coding career? Technically, any medical group that's going to have you code for them, they'll give you your own hardware because you don't want to use your personal computer to log on to patients' charts. I mean, if they're any company worth a darn, they'd send you their own computer system for that. But, you can use anything. I use a Lenovo. IdeaPad Flex 5 because I draw on mine a lot on PDFs and stuff, but that's just for me, And it also has a solid state where it doesn't have one of those processors that needs a minute to boot back up. It's an instant upload. It doesn't, or turn on. It doesn't need to think about it. I don't know what that means, but my son picked it out, and I was like, great. I don't have to wait 30 seconds for Windows to load. That's awesome. You don't have the spinny wheel of death thingy. Did anybody give me an answer? D's. Everybody's giving me D's. Good. Perfect. Yep. Integumentary. Back up to the front. Those molecular pathology procedures, I've never seen them asked on a CPC or a HEMA CCS or an NHA exam. They're not anything that would be asked on an exam, but they do use the gene table at the very front of the lab and path section, like on page 573, but these they don't use. I know tier 1 indicates the diseases being tested, and then the tier 2 are the level of that procedure being utilized for it. There's a lot of parentheticals and differences in those and the different techniques that they use, but there isn't anything that's going to be asked of you from that particular section for the exam, so I don't spend a lot of time on it. If you have specific questions, you can email me at medicalcodingbyjen@gmail.com and let me know what your specific questions are, and I can try to help you out. All right, where am I at? I'm in integumentary. All right, we're looking for similarities. I see that we've got two that are the 152s, because this one's a 50 and this one's a 51. So I'd start out at the 152s because we've got those that look similar. 1, 5. Oh, and 2. Thank you for subscribing. You have access if you're a member of the YouTube channel. I think it's like $5 a month, but you can unsubscribe anytime. But you'll get access to all the old workshops and access to the duck classes and access to my book prep, which is individual code by code CPT book prep. You get to watch me do the book prep and all those videos and more. I release just videos just for you guys too, so that's cool. Got access to all of that. I hope it helps. The best part is the workshops because you can pause those question by question. Yeah.
Are you gonna drop me off?
What time is it, baby?
It's 8:16.
Okay, what time is my live over, honey? 8:30, right? 15 more minutes. He's got ants in his pants. So you pause those questions. Try to work out the question yourself, do the answers, and then hit play on the video. And then that way you can see if you did the answer right. But that back-to-back practice on 3 hours of one whole section of questions, you'll get it down for sure if you do that. Those workshops are great for that kind of stuff. All right, we've got FTSGs. If you don't know what that abbreviation stands for, go Google it. We just need to know if we're doing the 20 or the 00. We can go look at our differences in those codes. Differences are sites, right? OO is our trunk. 220 is scalp, arms, and legs, and we had a thigh. So really all you got to do is know what body part you're dealing with. Our full thickness wound was 4 by 4. 4 by 4 equals 16 total. And if you look at our code, it does 20 squares. So also we're good with our measurements too with that one. Full thickness skin graft. In case you didn't have time to go Google yet. And we're okay with the 20 because our total was a 16. Yep, A. Okay, I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more left. And then we'll go take care of Travis. He's having a fit. What is the CPT definition of a consultation? Is it a follow-up, a type of E&M, any type of E&M, or official consent? What do you think? You're welcome, Deep. I am. I have 50 cups to give away for the birthday month. I just have to sit down and fix them because the lady who did all the cups, she misspelled all the words on the cups. So I gotta fix them individually. And then I didn't like, and because I gotta fix them, I gotta use some of her letters from some of the other words. So then I lost my peppermint word. So I had to go buy some peppermint stickers. And then the ones that came in were paper. And paper stickers won't work on a drinkable cup. So I need like silky whatever material one. So I had to order some of those. Those just came in today. So I got some little cute peppermint stickers that aren't made of paper, I don't think. Anyway, they still kind of look like paper. But I got some more coming in too. I ordered, she forgot to put my logo on the cups too. I mean, for $700, she forgot a lot. But I ordered my stickers with my logo. Whoops. Which I have now. See, I put one on my cell phone right now. Isn't that cute? And so I want to put the logos on them, but I got to find time to sit down and adjust all these cups. Where's the logo? There it is. I got us some stickers with my logo on it. So I want to add those to it. And then I got the peppermint stickers. And I want to add that to it. I have to correct every cup because she misspelled the word sentence on it. So I got to fix that. But I do have everything like the shipping little containers. So I got boxes that I can ship these cups in. They're Starbucks cups, and the tissue paper and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll have a raffle for 50 of them to go to you guys sometime in April. I just got to fix every single one of them. Let's see. Yeah, but anyway, we've got cups, and they have lids and straws and everything on them. I just want to put my logo on them and peppermints and I don't know what all, but yeah, we got cups. We got cups, and they have lids and straws and all kinds of stuff. But I do only have 50 of them, but I got to do some fixing. I got to fix them. And then I got a new printer too, and it's thermal paper, so it prints without ink, so it's super cool. And I'm set up on PayPal to ship the shipping labels. I'll just need good mailing addresses for you guys, and we'll give away 50 of them in April. Yes, wrong one. This one. There we go. But that's a whole nother ordeal that I gotta deal with. I know. How do you misspell the word sentence? She spelt it like I say it, sentence, with an A instead of an E, but I mean, it's okay. No, I didn't complain to her. I didn't tell her that she misspelled stuff. Lord, no, I'm not a complainer. I'm a fixer. I'll go fix it. It's okay. I picked a small Etsy shop, so I'm sure I overwhelmed her. I was just trying to give her her biggest sale that she ever had, so it's okay. It's perfectly fine. As long as I got something for it, that's fine. And I got the Starbucks cups. I can take all the dang stickers off if I wanted to and redo them completely. Whatever. I got the cups, lids, and straws, so whatever I want to do to them, they're mine. I can do whatever I want, so. I didn't order any samples ahead of time. I'm just like, here, go give me, what do you want for 50 cups? And I want this and this and this on it. She said, okay, $650 and then whatever for taxes and shipping. So I was like, okay. I was just excited. Ordered the cart before the horse. But that's okay. This one is B. Just in case, guys. All right. We've got a regular office visit with the critical care. I doubt you'd do that. That does not look right. And then the rest are critical care. Do we see any coding irregularities? Any more coding irregularities? Stuff we would not do? I doubt we would do that. Is there anything else here that's a coding irregularity? Thank you, Jeanette. I couldn't complain to nobody that put in all that work. I mean, she spelled out every word individually with each sticker letter. Like, she put the word difference and put one sticker for each letter of the word difference. It's like she put a lot of work into it. I wasn't going to complain to her. No way. It's all right. It's just for you guys. That's true. C does look funny. I don't believe we times our 91. I think that is for our other code. So yeah, I'd get rid of C2. So now, without even looking at the question, we're down to just 2 answers. You've already got yourself down to a 50-50 shot at this question. And you only have 100 questions to get through. So this is a really good strategy, is to look for coding irregularities. So if we were doing 2 hours of critical care, would it be 1 code or 2 codes? How would we code this? Oh, Eva, there is a YouTube video that I made under my tips and tricks that shows you how to find your way to be able to type on YouTube. If you're on like a mobile device of some sort, there's a little hack for that, and I had to put it in a video with a screen share so that I could show you guys. It's too hard to explain without it, but be sure and look for that. It's not too far back. Yep, we're going to do D on this one. Yep. Perfect. Which of the following consultation codes is best to describe the following? So it says right here it's a consultation code. So down here at the answers, I see one of them is not a consultation code. So I would get rid of that one as a possible answer. Now I've got myself down to a 75 shot, right? Or whatever. Yeah, 1 and 3. That makes it easier. We see the word specialty office. We can get rid of our hospital consultation. So now it's a 50-50 shot. A difference between your 44 and your 45. Oh, able to reboot. Tomorrow my mom needs me to take her to Vegas, so I got to ride up there to see one of the doctors. So that's a 2-hour drive there and back. So that's 4 hours in the car. So tomorrow will be busy, but I'll be around trying to answer questions as I can. I know there's a million going on. I'm still working on Lab and Path to get that section done before our workshop on April 9th. So I'll probably be going live at random hours on YouTube between now and then, just showing y'all book prep. It won't be announced. I don't know when I'll be around to do it, just whenever I get time. So be sure and put whatever alerts there are on YouTube for when I go live to let you know so you can watch it. Because when I save it at the end of doing it, I'll save it for members. But if you happen to catch me, you get to watch it for free. Everybody saying C? 44? I think so. Yep, it's 44. Our 45 is 55 minutes. Yeah, and this is inpatient, and that one's established. Yep. Prolonged services. I haven't gone over these codes since they changed. We are like on page like 27. If you have the 2023, codes are impossible to find because they're just so out of sequence all the time. But these are non-face-to-face prolonged services codes. Right there. These codes show YouTube. Yep. I have a ton of little guidelines right before. With or without wrong one, that one. Yes, everything on the exam will be which is the most accurate out of what you've got laid out in front of you. Some of them, especially you'll be out there in the world and you know you can't code a regular office visit and an admit to the hospital on the same patient by the same MD on the same day. But in your exam questions, they're asking you to do that and pick the correct answer, and your head's just firing off at you saying, you can't bill this, you can't code this together, but it's not what they're asking you to do. It's more of what type of exam taker you are. I had a veterinarian decide she's closing her practice, I guess, and she's going to do medical coding. It's just a side hustle now that she's retiring. And she recently took the exam and passed, but she quickly realized how it's not a reflection of your coding skills at all. It's more of an example of what type of exam taker you are. She wrote this statement about being a licensed veterinarian for the last 24 years, and she just said, yeah, the test is not an accurate assessment of your coding abilities. It's an assessment of your critical thinking skills and your test-taking strategies. Here's what she wrote. Nope, wrong one. That one. That's what she wrote. I thought that was a very good way of explaining what I've been trying to say about this exam. Yeah. So if you have any coding or billing in your background, you're going to have to forget it. Don't bring that with you when you go to take this exam. This one, we are answering A for our hour and a half. No times 2 is needed. Last one. What kind of code is our 993 mess? Let's go see. 993. It's not the wellness exams, no. 304. That's good, Amy. I have received so many scores, Zeta. I'm sure I did. I've just been unable to find the time to review them, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. I have a ton of scores. We're on page 25 and 24 for these codes, in case you couldn't find them. Let's see what's going on in our question. Which one would go for a detailed exam, moderate MDM with 30-minute subsequent visit? So that's important. We can get rid of the new patient initials, which is our 04. 7 is a subsequent. 9 is a subsequent. What's our differences between the 7 and the 9? 7 is straightforward and 9 is low. But if we do time, 7 is 10 minutes, 9 is 15 minutes. Ugh. This is just a terrible question. Yeah, A's been deleted. Definitely not updated. Out of the possible answers we have in front of us, it can only be the 9 because we have no other options that would qualify for this. The detailed exam isn't done anymore. Those are just appropriate exam or history. We can't go off our moderate because we don't have a moderate subsequent. Technically, I guess our 09, right, is moderate. But our time isn't really good enough for that one, technically, yeah. So just our 09 is good enough for that one, for our moderate. Four is initial, 18 was something else, and then 7 is subsequent, but straightforward. Yep. But that's all I had for tonight. The coolest one, of course, is don't forget, and I know the codes are wrong, but just remember, even if we make this a 2, whatever, remember that your services performed in the emergency room department are considered outpatient services, and our place of service is 22. Don't forget that, because that could be one of the reasons why, I mean, if you failed the exam by a 69 or a 68, that kind of question could be the difference to get you right to that 70. Don't forget that emergency room visits are not inpatient, and we don't bill those as 22 or 21. Be sure you know that. We add margins for these questions. When you're doing the AKs, just figure up what your answers are. How many AKs would they have removed if you did this answer? If you did that, This is 1 and this is 1, just 2 AKs. This one is a coding irregularity. We can't have an add-on code as your only code. You have to have a mama. This one also is a coding irregularity because it's in the do nots, don't do. If your answer was this one, this is 1 plus 11, you would have removed 12 things from a patient. So either 2 or 12. And you can clearly see what your answer is right here. 3 times 4 is 12. Easy peasy. Those are super nice, easy, clear to understand things that can be super helpful. Don't forget to look up your differences on E&Ms. See which header is for each one of your E&Ms. And then, for goodness sake, don't forget to read your last sentence, because you may assume they want you to code for the neurology or something. I don't know how many people get into tutoring or whatever with me and they just don't simply read the last sentence. Verify what you want. They want you to code. What's the answer you're looking for? They only want you to bill for the emergency room physician, so you're no longer even thinking about a neuro. So, ER docs don't do consults. The patient did not get discharged, so you know you can't do this one. And you know your patient status was that they were admitted, so they're not in the ER, so you can't bill that one. So you know your answer is C. Those things are super important. Don't forget about knowing what HIPAA stands for, the exact wording of it. Know what JVD is, of course. How many lobes. Trichomonas. Some other things. Get your components down for your immunizations. I have those documents for you free on my website. All you got to do is write down the manufacturer's name of the shots next to the CPT codes and how many components are in each vaccine. Super handy dandy. Then you'll be able to answer these kind of questions. Super helpful. I will be back on Monday to do another live, 2 hours free here on YouTube and TikTok. And until then, I'll be on randomly doing book prep for Lab and Path. So if you want to join in on that, just set the alarms or whatever you can do on YouTube. I have no idea to notify you when I go live. But I hope that's helpful, and I will do my best to get to all the emails and messages y'all have been sending. And I still have to clear off a bunch of spammers from our Facebook page. Oh my goodness, gracious Lord. If anybody's messaging you, asking for money, for questions, do not do that. Please do not do that. Do not trust those people at all. If they can't share it openly over the internet on a post with you so that everybody else can see it, ignore them and block them and report them to me, please. It's not worth knowing at all. Yep. So, other than that, don't forget about your peppermints. If anybody's taking their exam tomorrow, you're welcome, Gupta. Happy to help you all. Email address, medicalcodingbyjen. Medical coding by Jen. No guarantee I'm ever going to get to your email though. Lord, I do work full-time job, have 3 sons at home, take care of my mom, and I'm a medical auditor. I work full-time. I do 6 hours free for you guys here on YouTube and TikTok every week. And that's creating material and all that stuff for you guys. It's a lot. So I will do my best. I'm trying, but I am just one lady on the internet. I don't own no corporation or have a bunch of people working for me. It's just me. Twinkle helps me out. Chrissy is going to help me out on YouTube. Go-Kart and MK and some of my long-term followers, of course, help me out of the goodness of their hearts and trying to help you guys, but we're doing our best. I do have a Discord group you can join. Super, super handy dandy to join my Discord group because you've got thousands of other people in there. You've got copies of everything that I know is here, where to start. I even have this room about where to start. All my best videos are in there. Has its own set of loveliness. I have what to expect on exam day room. I have E&M resources room, a CPT room, an ICD-10 room, a HitPix room, even CCS, COC, CRC, CPC. Y'all all have your own practice question rooms, CPMA. You can sell your books in in my Discord. It's all free. Every room is free. I don't charge anything for our Discord. I have an anatomy room, a med-term room, job resources room, Practicode room, study buddy room, you name it. We have a room for it. You can go in there, and if you're out interviewing for jobs and they asked you questions or you had to take a quiz or something, I have practice copies of those in here. If people send them to me, I post them in there. And there's just our own room. CEUs, if you're already certified and you need more and free CEUs, I have a room for that. It's all free. Tons of old practice questions in there for the last 2 years. You can post your own. If you're in a course or whatever, you can post them in our practice rooms and get help from them. There's somebody on all the time, 24/7. You can always get somebody to help you out if you don't know where something is. You just have to download the Discord app, which is free, and it's not going to stalk you. You can talk around it, and I promise there won't be any ads for whatever you're talking about. I don't see any of your registration information. It's totally nice, legit thing that gamers built because they got tired of Facebook chat rooms and stuff. So it's really nice. Just download the app and join. The link to join, of course, is on my website. It's also on the YouTube page up in the header. So there's tons of places where the links are at. And I just hope to see you guys there. And I'm sorry if I do not get to everybody's messages right away. Doing the best I can, guys. And for those that are taking the exam tomorrow, I wish you all the best. And just, what would Jen do? Carry me on your shoulder. What would Jen do? Jen would not be reading these questions, number one, so don't be reading those questions. Go straight to the answers, look up your differences, get rid of your coding irregularities, and only search the question for the differences that the codes are telling you are. Those differences, that's it. Just search the question for the differences. That's it. Pick an answer and move on. Don't second guess yourself. Don't go back and recheck the thing. You should be able to get done in 3 hours if you do it without reading the questions. And then just walk out of there while everybody stares at you longingly, wondering how you did that test so quickly. Oh, I do have the Discord link. I think I can post in YouTube real quick. If anybody is on YouTube chat. Oop, what did I do? Here we go. But you gotta have your Discord set up on your phone, your own account, and then you click this link. Where am I at? Here we go. Thank you guys for everybody that donated in Super Chat. I'll make sure that Twinkle gets the money by Monday, and we'll give away the free YouTube memberships for the $15 y'all sent today. That's awesome. That's like 3 memberships. Let Let me wait for chat to catch up. My chat is just now catching up with you guys. I missed a lot. I'm trying to post the Discord. Good Lord. There we go. I'm catching up. There's the Discord link. Y'all can copy. Is it okay if I share my 2 daughters' fundraisers off topic on Discord? If you do it in the off topic room, absolutely. I just don't want it in the coding rooms or whatever, you know. Absolutely. Off topic is great. I even, if you have a side hustle or whatever, as long as it's not a competing side hustle, like Miss Edwards, who does the juicing, my one of my little ducks who I still need to get to pass, she sells her juice recipes, which are awesome, by the way. And by the way, I have, speaking of Miss Edwards, let me find my thing I did yesterday. I met Miss Edwards, let's see. I met Miss Edwards when I weighed like 205 right there. And now I'm down to 136. Just from knowing her for like 9 months and doing her juice recipes. She's awesome. Yep. So yeah. Side hustles, don't mind. I even promoted my son's YouTube over there. So it's awesome. If y'all are looking for Miss Edwards juice recipes, you're going to be looking for a CCORORD according to Trin on IG. She's on IG. She's awesome. You're welcome, Amy. Happy to help. Do you have time for a question about an example in a book? What you got, Erin? My child is texting me, am I done? Am I done? I gotta take him to a friend's house and he's having a fit. Look, 9:54. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Are you packed? A question in the book. Are you talking about the study guide? My study guide's from 2019. What's the website? I'm a struggling buddy. My website is Medical Coding by Jen, but the Discord is where we have study buddies. That's my website. MVA example. Erin, if you're in the study guide and you're in like the 2023 CPC study guide, I don't have it. If you're talking about page 93 in the 2023 CPT book, because on that page I have a chainsaw accident that I wrote in and an MVA 8.6 laceration to the forehead. Okay. What's her issue? It's just the first sentence out of the whole example, and then the codes that were related as to the answer is all I have there. And the other example is the chainsaw of the left thigh work injury. The chainsaw doesn't even have the sizes of whatever happened to the person. It's just a little bit of the information. You know, those questions are proprietary to whoever wrote the question of the example. So instead of your chat didn't catch up fast enough. So I don't write the whole thing down, but I write just enough. If we had an MVA and one of the lacerations was 8.6, we would start out with our 13132 code. And you see how the 32 only goes to 7.5, right? So let me get back to my Word document here. So our code 13132 only does 7.5, but our laceration is an 8.6. So we have to use the add-on code, which you can't code by itself, the 13133, which will add another 5 centimeters to this. So we're at 12.5 now. Now, this question has that this one is times 3. So far, we've only had to do it times the 1. But we had to have had other things in this example that were lacerated that may have been over, I don't know what. And we needed to add another 33 to it, but don't know. I'll have to go research the question and see why we have the timeses for each one. The times 3. Do we have any other lacerations that would be over a 7.5? Hands, feet, complex, genitalia. I have to look it up. I wonder if we're supposed to be in 18.6. Because then if we do another 5, we're getting 17.5, and that would be times 2. But see, we're times 3. So I'm not there yet. That's still going to leave a 1.1. How big does it have to be? Or less. It says an additional 5 centimeters or less. So maybe it was supposed to be 18. Because then we would add one more times 3 to add another 5 to it to make this into a point. Does that make sense? To get to the 18.6, we would have to do it times 3. Maybe I just need to add a 1 in front of it, because we would add all the body parts together. So maybe I just needed to audit my words, my writing. Does that make sense? Go chat. I'm just now reading your words. I wasn't reading as you were typing. So I was thinking in my head anyway. Yep, y'all can friend request each other and chat too. The 2023 book. Okay. Nope, you weren't off in left field, but maybe my notes are off in left field. So maybe they need to be 18 instead of just an 8. I'll have to go look it up and see. No telling. But I think that's probably more right. 18.6 centimeters instead of just 8. All right, guys. Y'all holler if y'all need me. I'm going to get off the live and go take my boo over to his friend's house. I will see y'all again for sure on Monday.